Uncross them arms, boy, before you get your butt whooped. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We understand that if, wait a minute, it's the only hope for salvation.
It is obtained.
Do it go right to it is obtained?
Yes.
If and when?
No.
Good.
It is obtained by grace through faith. And given as a gift.
To all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest and made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. That said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. All right? All right, where we at? New Testament, what we got? TJ? You wide awake downstairs. Yeah. Oh, now you come over here. Oh, don't worry, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. That's how it works. It happens. What you got for me? I need a New Testament book. What's a book in the New Testament? All right, just think of something. There's a whole lot of books in the New Testament. I ain't asking you square root or nothing. All right, what we got there? You help them out. We'll make them, you know what I'm saying? We'll have you just think of a number for me. You know what I'm saying?
1 Corinthians.
All right, 1 Corinthians, give me a number.
8.
Give me a smaller number.
6.
Who?
6.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Well, give me another number, baby. All right, it's about to be good now. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. I think I put it right where we want to be, too. If I'm not mistaken, maybe at verse 10, put it right where we want to be. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. Might be a little higher. What I'm thinking of might be like verse 5 or something. But that's all right. Verse 13 will work. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. Watch what the book says.
Meats for the belly and belly for meats.
Mm-hmm.
But God shall destroy both it and them.
So the Most High God, He gonna destroy both it and them. Talking about the belly, right? The meat and the belly. So He's talking about eating food, right? He's like the meat. The food is gonna be, when they say meat in the Bible, it's not talking about like meat, right? It ain't talking about like beef and all that. When they say meat in the Bible, it's talking about food. Meat means food in the book, right? So He said food is for the belly and belly is for food. But at the end of the day, what's the Most High God gonna do with both of them? Both of them gonna get destroyed. All right, let's hear about it.
Now the body is not for fornication, but for the Lord.
Okay.
And the Lord for the body.
He said, now the body is not for fornication, but for the Lord, right? And the Lord is for the body. Let's hear about it.
And God has both raised up the Lord and will also raise up us by His own power. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of the Messiah?
He said, don't you know that your bodies are the member of the Messiah? Right? Don't you know that if you believe and you keep the faith, don't you know that you connected to the Messiah? Watch what He's trying to tell you here. It's good. What is it, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13?
Yeah.
All right, look at God.
Shall I then take the members of the Messiah and make them the members of a harlot? Mm-hmm. God forbid. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two said he shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord is of one spirit. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is outside the body.
Right? He said every sin that you do, that thing gonna be outside your body. But this one, let's hear about it.
But he that commits fornication sins against his own body.
Why? Tell me why.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you?
Yeah.
Which you have of God, and you are not your own. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore,
let's talk about that for a second there. He said, ye are bought with a price. What does that mean?
The Messiah redeemed all flesh unto Himself. Right? Paid the price for the sacrifice to own all souls.
What was the price?
Death.
How do we know that?
Because
what in the law can tell us this?
What was that one? Was it the redeeming of the brother one?
No. All right. Wouldn't the law tell us that death is the price?
The life is in the blood. And okay, hit this. The lamb and Passover.
Lamb and Passover. All right. What happened when we sin?
You want so much.
Oh, yeah,
The wages of sin is death.
Yeah. When we sin, the whole law it tell us, you sin, stone this butt.
You curse. Yeah.
Right? That's the one I was looking for. Let's grab it real quick. This is Deuteronomy chapter 27. Give me the last verse. Should be, actually the last verse might be 27. Might be Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 27. That might be wrong though. It might be something like 12. But whatever the last verse is, that's what I want. What is the last verse?
Cursed is he that
What is
conforms
it?
not.
What number?
26.
26? This is Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 26.
Cursed be he that confirms not all the words of this law to do them, and all the people shall say amen.
So he's saying, remember, he just got done reading this whole law, giving us instruction, right? And then he came back after, he said, cursed is everybody who don't confirm to actually do what was written here. So that means you curse. How do you remove a curse? Right? Have we ever read anything in the book that say, in the law at least, that say this is how you get rid of a curse? Because you know, the book, it'll tell you, okay, listen, if this happens and you unclean, go to the priest, make a sacrifice of this, right? And he'll cleanse you. Right? Dip a little bit of water in the hyssop, you know what I'm saying? A little red heifer, you know what I'm saying? You'll be all right. Right? There's always sacrifice. Take 2 turtle doves, you know what I'm saying? Go there, you'll be good. Right? It's always like a sacrifice that'll clean you up for certain sins. Then in some sins, it's like, if you do that, stone them. And then they say, well, you know what? If you mess up with anything in this book, and you don't continue, anything in this law, and you don't continue in it, your butt cursed. So what law do we have that'll tell us how to remove a curse?
There is one.
There is one. Grab Deuteronomy chapter 18. Give me verse, what, 9? 18. It's Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. Let's talk a little bit.
Talking about the one that's going to be raised among you.
That's right.
18.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 18. Give me verse 18. It's important that we know that. You look at it because it don't make sense. A lot of times it don't make sense. We sit here and we say, okay, the law, we can be saved through the law. Right? And if we can be saved through the law, I'll be the first person to say it. Right? Because I love the law. Right? I don't like that anybody don't keep the law. I love the law. But at the same time, I can't stand in a good conscience and say that we can be saved by the law. It don't make no sense. Because that ain't what the book said. Right? Let's see what we got. It's Deuteronomy chapter 18. Give me verse 18. What does the book say?
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee.
Uh-huh.
And I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Okay.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto...
So it shall come to pass that whoever... This is our law.
Mm-hmm.
So the law is telling us that somebody else gonna come. And the words of the Most High God is gonna put in his mouth. And it's gonna come to pass that whoever don't listen to the man, what's gonna happen?
And it shall come to pass that whoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
So if you don't listen to the man, it's gonna be whatever you didn't listen to, gonna be required of you. You gonna owe. You gonna be in debt. If I require something of you, what that mean? Now he already told you, whoever doesn't confirm all the words in this book, right, it's gonna be cursed, right? So then you know that everybody on earth, because Solomon and many other people told us that there's nobody that sinneth not. So all of the people on the earth are under a curse. That's a fact. We all agree there. Okay. So if everybody is under the curse, and the man say, I'm only gonna require it of you, right? The only situation, he said, the only way I'm gonna require that of you is if you don't listen to the man I sent. So that implies that if I do listen to the man you sent, guess what I don't have to do? Or guess what I'm not anymore? I'm not cursed. He's not going to require that of me. It's on our law. That's how we know the law wasn't set. The law was set up to point us to who was going to save us. The law can't save us though. The law is good. Don't let nobody I ain't never telling nobody break no law. That's crazy. Right? But at the same time, you better understand what's going to be required of you. You want to remove a curse, you better understand what's going to be required of it. Whatever the man say, if you don't listen to the man, it's going to be required of you. If you listen to the man, you good. You good. Grab for me real quick. Let's grab, give me Luke. Luke chapter 24. Give me Luke chapter 24. Give me verse 15. Y'all be quiet down there. Hey!
He said be quiet.
I appreciate that, Marvin.
Verse 15.
Somebody got to bring order in this house. It's Luke chapter 24, verse 15.
And they talked together. And it came to pass that while they communed together, and reasoned, Yahushua himself drew near and went with them.
Mm-hmm.
But their eyes were holden that they should not know him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that you have one to another as you walk in our Sabbath?
Mm-hmm.
And the one of them whose name was Cleopas answering said unto him, are you a stranger in Jerusalem, and have not known the things that are come to pass in these days?
This is Yahushua walking with them, and they don't know who he is. Right? Yahushua walked up to him. He asked him, he was like, man, why y'all sad? What y'all, you know what I'm saying? What y'all, you got to be all morose about? You know what I'm talking about? What's wrong with you? Right? But they don't recognize him. He hid himself to him. So they looking at the man like, are you a stranger in Israel? Are you a stranger, but you not from around these parts or something? Don't you know why we darn sad? Watch this.
And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him, concerning Yahushua of Nazareth.
They talking to the man Yahushua. They like, you don't know what happened to Yahushua of Nazareth? They talking to him. They don't even realize they talking to him. Like, man, you crazy boy? You ain't from around here? You didn't know. We said about Yahushua of Nazareth. You didn't hear about what happened to Yahushua of Nazareth? Let's hear about it.
Which was a prophet, mighty indeed in word before God and all the people.
They said he's explaining to Yahushua what he is. Yahushua was a prophet. He is mighty in what?
Indeed and in word and before God and all the
people. The man can speak his butt off, but at the same time, he'll do a darn miracle. He is mighty in deed and in word. And what else?
Before God and all the people.
And
now the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death,
and
have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he who should have redeemed Israel.
We thought he was the one. In other words, we thought that was the Messiah. He is like, you see how he is like, man, he is a prophet, mighty indeed in word, and we thought the man was the Messiah until he died. You know what I'm saying? You cut off the hope at that point. We actually thought that was him. The man died. Now we sad. Because we had some hope. We had the hope that this was it. Like this was it. And the man dead. You ain't from around here? Let's hear about it. They talking to Yahushua. Watch this.
But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And besides all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they found not his body, they came saying they had also seen a vision of angels which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the woman had said. But him they saw not. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken.
Yahushua stopped and he's like, y'all some fools. And you slow of heart to believe in everything that the prophets spoke. Watch this.
Ought not the Messiah.
He said, ought not the Messiah what?
Had suffered these things, and to enter into his glory. And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all
He did what?
Beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures.
He showed them the word. That's what the book is about. He trying to show them the whole book talking about me. What you think he was talking about when he told you, I'm going to raise up amongst your brethren somebody just like me, and I'm going to put my words in them? He's like, don't you realize?
I just need to think.
Oh, y'all sad? Because I died?
Hold on.
Don't you realize, don't you understand that this is everything the prophet's been talking about? Grab from what I want, Daniel 9?
I think so.
Give me Daniel 9. If 9 ain't what I want, then give me 7.
Talk about when he had to be cut off, right?
Yeah. Give me Daniel chapter 9, verse 20, maybe. Maybe like 19, maybe. Give me Daniel chapter 9, verse, give me 19.
I gotta think about it, Zakai. I gotta think first.
It's important that we understand this stuff. There's a lot in this book. There's a lot to understand. It's a lot to get, and it can be intimidating. But it's important that we understand these concepts. Otherwise, man, this stuff will fly. People will be able to tell. The reason why these Christians walking around here, and these Muslims, and all these people walking around, these Hebrews, because you can tell them anything. There's no foundation. There's no borders. When you look at the book, it set up borders for you. It set up, you can only go but so far. The word telling you the line is drawn. The word draw the line for you. Right? All you got to do is color within them. But the word, you learn the word, the little pieces that you understand just start drawing little pieces of borders. The more you read, the more the borders go. You keep reading, it turns into a full picture. Right? But it at least start drawing lines where you know, like, oh, I can only go but so far. I can't just take this. I mean, my imagination might say, okay, when Yahushua was walking up, like right now, we know they didn't know Yahushua. So our imagination, because the book don't fill in all the color for it, our imagination can say, oh, he looked different. Yahushua came in a different body. Right? That's our imagination. Like, we can come to him and be like, why didn't they notice him? They felt he looked different. That's fine. But we can't go as far as saying, oh, yeah, well, the man, this is what a Christian tell. These Christians darn tell you, listen, you can't, don't badmouth no bum. That crackhead, you might be talking to crackhead, but guess who you might really be talking to? That might be an angel talking to you. That might be Jesus Christ in darn self. Sitting there, smoking crack. Don't you look down on no darn crackhead. That's the type of stuff they tell us. We can't go that far because we don't have no evidence that the man sinned at all. Matter of fact, quite the opposite. Books say he didn't. You smoking crack, that's a sin. You sitting there getting drunk, that's a darn sin. That don't make no sense. Right? For them, they have no borders. It makes perfect sense. For them, it was a guy, I went to jail one time. It was a guy, and he was sitting there looking at me. You know why you're in here, right? You know why you're in here, right? Then, I mean, it's been wilding out. 3 cops to kind of hold him down. And all I remember, I'm sitting there, and it felt like everything stopped. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everything stopped. It felt like I can't remember if the cops was still holding. All I know, the cops was wrestling with this man. And the next thing I know, he make eye contact with me, and I don't remember nothing else going on around. All I remember is the man was calm, and he just, you know why you in here, right? It's like off a movie or something. I still remember it just like that. It was like off a movie. And the man was like, you know why you in here, right? And I'm just looking at him like, you know why you in here, right? Is that nothing? And I'm like, oh, crap. So my Christian butt, that was God talking to me. Now, certainly, maybe it was a supernatural something going on. Let me tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't no darn God talking to me. I don't care. The little devil might have been right. But let me tell you, God wasn't talking to me. In no way. God ain't going to be no drug addict. He ain't going to be wrestling with no cops. Show me one time when Yahushua wrestled with anybody. I mean, they came up to the man, right? They came up to the man. Hit him with... They came up to the man, right? Kissed him on the cheek. Right? After that, them boy came out with swords. They tried to get at him. Yahushua was like, what y'all come? Y'all came out with swords? Like y'all coming for a thief? I'm right here. Y'all knew I was the whole time. Right? That boy, you know what I'm saying? What was it, Peter? That boy Peter drew down on him. You know what I'm saying? Cut the ear off. He's like, boy, what's happening? Get off my boy. You know what I'm saying? Cut his ear. Yahushua was like, no. Let me put his ear back and everything. He's like, relax. We got this. We got this. We good. When you see the man wrestle with somebody.
Scripture need to be fulfilled. You in the way.
Yeah. He gonna do a little wrestling. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, he gonna do a little wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But right off the bat, only Jacob. He wrestled with our team. Right? He wrestled with us. He ain't wrestling with no enemy. Right? He ain't wrestling with no enemy. That's nuts. It's crazy. We have borders. We read the word and they give us borders. But that's good for us. A lot of people don't like that because it make it tight. You can't believe what you want to believe. Sometimes I'm comfortable. Like, I'm more comfortable like if God loved everybody, I can work with that. If God loved, because I know it's difficult to do the right thing. So if God loved everybody, then you know what, that make me feel like I still got a chance. But when you got to look at yourself and be like, oh no, I'm a sinner. And I'm going right to hell. Right? Like if I die right now, I'm going right to hell. Now that's tight. That's scary. That make you actually want to shake and do something. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, what's going on? Come over here and shake my hand, boy.
No.
Hair getting darn long. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You alright? Alright. Right? So we look at it. It's important for us to be able to put this stuff together and understand it. Understand what these borders say. Understand what everything we lining up. Got a color inside them lines. If the borders is there, don't try to go past them. You can't go further than what the Most High God prescribed. He gave you something. What you going to try to do? Why you going to go further than that? Then you're your own God at that point.
Yeah. That's true.
What else we looking at right here?
That's 24.
This is Daniel chapter 9. I want 24 what I want. This is Daniel chapter 9 verse 23. Watch the book say.
At the beginning of thy...
The man just sit here and told you, he said, I'm going to take you through the whole book and expound it to you. What expound mean?
Thoroughly explain.
He said, I'm going to thoroughly explain this book to you. Let's see what the book say.
At the beginning of thy supplications, the
People ain't
commandment
taught
came
nobody no
forth,
darn book.
and I'm come to show thee, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore understand the matter and consider the vision.
Watch it.
70 weeks are determined upon thy people,
He said it's going to be 70 weeks. It's going to be determined on your people.
thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins,
Okay.
and to make reconciliation for iniquity,
Okay.
and to bring an everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy.
So we got to put an end to sin and bring an everlasting righteousness. And it got to be centered around your people. I don't know what that could sound like. Because I remember Yahushua, he came, he's supposed to die for what?
People saying,
Okay, and then he's supposed to rise and then do what?
raised on the right hand of the Father.
And how long we going to be there?
The right hand of the Father.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to get all the people. He goes to the right hand. But after that, he come back and he get us all up. And we go to the Father. And how long we going to be there?
Forever.
Everlasting, right? So now 70 weeks to do what now?
Bringing an end, to make an end of sin.
Uh-huh.
And to make reconciliation for iniquity, and
Uh-huh.
to bring everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy.
Okay.
Know therefore, and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem
Mhm.
unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks.
Mhm.
The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times.
Mm-hmm.
And after 62 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off, but not for himself.
So after 62 weeks, shall the Messiah be cut off. And what?
But not for himself.
Uh-huh.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end shall be with a flood.
Right? So now what you got to look at is, the book just told you the Messiah is going to be cut off. And then after that, the people going to come and destroy the sanctuary. Right? So now if we looking at it and the man dies, he shows himself, he raises back up. They don't know him. He showed himself to the people. He talked to them. And they like, man, we sad, man, because we thought he was the Messiah. But you know what made us stop believing that he was the Messiah? He died. But he got the boundary right there. He told you the Messiah, say Messiah, don't it? The Messiah gonna get cut off. And then the sanctuary. So if you still see the sanctuary and then the Messiah died, quite the opposite. That tells you who he is. That confirms. So that's why Yahushua walked on you fools. You slow of heart to believe everything that the prophet's been telling y'all. Because we've been getting this book, but back then, our fathers were getting this book and they didn't get all the details. And let's not play around. It's not like it was easy to just pick these little things out. It ain't like I'm not gonna sit here and act like you can read these prophecies and it's just laid out for you to get. Grab what I want, 1 Peter. 1 Peter 1. Let me get 1 Peter 1, and then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to.
I'm trying to get it. It might be 2.
Might be 2. No, I think it's 1. It might be 2, but let's do 1. Give me 1 verse 9. It's 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 9. It's important for us to get this thing, man. These people not teaching us no book. We sitting here, we playing along in these churches and these mosques. We playing around with these people giving us motivational speeches. We playing around with this activism that we doing. Activism is good and that's cool. But a lot of this stuff playing around because our souls is out here dying. These people ain't got no principles. Ain't nobody standing on nothing true. Everybody's scared to say what they believe. We all of us walk around here, we actually believe stuff and we scared to say it because it might offend somebody else. People getting sick of living like that. That's why people shooting stuff up. People aren't going crazy in their darn heads, trying to keep it together. Ain't never been more depressed people in the world. Because we sitting there dealing with stuff on the inside of us and we don't know how to deal with this. So we trying to hide it and keep it hidden and smooth it over with other stuff and supplement it with other stuff and take drugs and all this. Man, this stuff is crazy. All because we lost principle. I ain't going to say lost. A lot of them ain't never had no darn principle. Right? All because there ain't no man of God's here and tell us and set stuff straight. Put stuff in order. This go here and this go there. Stop playing around. Sitting there playing with these people. I'm sick of playing. Let's talk about it. Where we at? It's 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 9. What the book say?
Receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul.
He said at the end of your faith is going to be the salvation of your soul.
Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
He said, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently. When we read these books, y'all sure he just took them through what? Moses and the what? He said, beginning with Moses and the prophets. So when we read these books in the Old Testament, that's the prophets speaking. Right? These are all prophets. Right? So he said, concerning which things, your salvation, the end of your faith is salvation. And Peter saying, concerning which things, the prophets, they was inquiring about. They was asking about it. They were trying to figure it out. Watch this.
Who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you.
They prophesied of all the stuff that's going to come to you, but what?
Searching what manner of time the spirit of the Messiah which was in them did signify when they testified beforehand the sufferings of the Messiah and the glory that should follow.
He's saying the prophets was searching like, like how is this going to happen? The prophet telling you. The stuff we just read came from the prophet, Daniel, chapter 9, right? Came from a prophet. Do you think Daniel knew? Oh, no, don't worry about it. See, in this year, Yahushua going to come. The Pharisees going to sell him. Daniel didn't know none of that stuff.
All he knew was he was going to die.
Daniel may not even knew that. Daniel might have just been spitting out words, just like, I don't know what they mean. Grab what I want. Matthew chapter 11 or 10. Give me Matthew chapter 11 verse 52. In Matthew chapter 11, we're going to do just a little bit of talking today. Just a little bit of talking. It's Matthew chapter 11 verse 52. I think that's what I want. Is that it? Caiaphas?
11 don't go to 42.
Where'd it go to? 49?
30.
Oh, that ain't what I want then. What 10 go to?
42.
No, that's what I want either. Give me John chapter 11 then.
Yeah, that's John.
Yeah, John chapter 11, verse 52.
John is a little more distinct with John seems like a little bit more like he tells more of a spiritual story.
It's John chapter 11, verse 52. Watch what the book say.
You want? Let's see. Let's do 47.
47?
Yeah.
It's John chapter 11, verse 47. Watch what the book say. That's good. 47 good.
You want a little bit of the lead up.
47 work. This is John chapter 11, verse 47. Watch this.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, "What do we do?
Mhm.
For this man does many miracles."
Mm-hmm. They knew the man did miracles. Watch this.
But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahshua had done.
Uh-huh.
Then, oh, my bad. I went up. If we let this alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Right? So that was what they feared. They knew the man did miracles. But remember, that don't prove anything for our people. Right? We got a law to tell us if a man come around you doing miracles and he don't serve the Most High God, stone his butt. He trying to guide you to another God. So you can't just come in with the trickery and think, oh, that's gonna do it for us. That we Hebrews. That ain't enough. So they looking at him, they looking at what the man is telling. They like, man, we don't believe what stuff he telling. That don't sound like nothing that came from our God. Because they didn't study the book well enough. And very few people did, right? So they looking like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. This man trying to make himself out to be God. He's saying that he's one with the Father. That don't really sound like anything that's in our law. So they're like, even though he doing miracles, and even though some of the stuff he say, you know what I'm saying, we ain't got nothing for it, you can't make yourself to be equal with God. Therefore, we got to stop him. Because he going to mess around. People going to believe his butt, and the Romans going to eventually come because he ain't the real Messiah. In their mind, he can't be the Messiah. He's disqualified. I don't care how much good stuff he do. There's no way he can be the Messiah. Right? Watch this.
And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest the same year, said unto them, "You know nothing at all,
He said, you don't know anything at all. It's the high priest. Watch this.
nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people."
He said it's expedient, it's necessary, right? It's necessary for us. It's appropriate for us that one man dies for the people, right? Watch this.
And that the whole nation perish not.
And the whole nation perish not. Daniel said what? Daniel said it's going to be 70 weeks. And in 3 and whatever weeks, I can't remember, right? But after a certain amount of weeks, then the Messiah going to be cut off. For who?
For the people.
He said, not for himself. Right? And then now, Caiaphas come back and he say, y'all don't know anything at all. Don't you know it's expedient for us that one man die for the nation? Right? Now watch what Caiaphas say next. Or watch what the book say next about what Caiaphas said.
And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together one. Oh, wait, sorry. And this he spake not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahshua should die for that nation.
Right? So he didn't know what he was speaking. The book say he spake not of himself. Right? So in his mind, he's saying it's expedient for us to get this man killed because he going to mess around and have the Romans come and kill us all. Right? If we let him run wild, the Romans, that's what he's saying in his mind. The book is saying, oh, he's prophesying that Yahushua going to die for the whole nation. That's how all the prophets were. Now, he just was somebody who totally working against God's plan. The prophets worked for God's plan. But in the same way, they said stuff. They don't understand what's really going on. They don't understand the big picture. They just, Most High God gave them something to say and they said it.
It's like a Syrian rod of his anger.
Exactly. Right? That's how all these things work. So when you look at it, the prophets is sitting there like, in what way or in what manner is all this going to play out? So this stuff wasn't easy to get. So when Yahushua would walk up to him, like, man, you fools, y'all slow of heart to believe? Watch this. Go back. This is Luke chapter 24. Pick up where we left off. What verse we leave off? We're going to do just a little bit of talking. We don't get to it, but we still got to pick up. Remember, we left off with Hezekiah. Remember King Hezekiah? So we still got to pick up where we left off with King Hezekiah. Remember King Hezekiah, he put together a whole Passover for the people. Right? And then, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't clean in time. So you know what they had to do? They had to wait till the next month, right? They had to wait till the second month. And that was according to what? That was according to our law. Our law made that provision. He said, if you're not clean in time, go ahead and wait till the second month. You keep it in the second month, right? So Hezekiah, he made sure that he did things lawfully. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. This is Luke chapter 24, then we'll get back to Hezekiah. Luke chapter 24, verse 27.
And at the beginning at Moses and all the prophets, He expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew near unto the village where they went, and he made as though he would go further. But they constrained him, saying, Stay with us, for it is toward evening, and the day is far spent. And he went and stayed with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake to give to them. And their eyes was open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight.
He taught them the word. After he taught them the word, he communed with them. He sat down with them. Sat down and ate with them.
Same thing in the wilderness.
Right? Once you do that, eyes open. Eyes open. First thing you got to do though is what?
Learn the word.
There's no way you're going to get into space with the Most High God. You don't learn the word.
That's what he's saying. He said, no one comes to me unless the Father draws.
Grab John chapter 6. Give me verse 43. It's John chapter 6, verse 43. I like that. That's good. It's John chapter 6, verse 43. I appreciate the Most High God, man. This thing come together, don't it? Whole book just come right on together. These people out here making a darn mess of it. Leaving people all down type of rabbit hole y'all going down. Book just right there and simple. Got people darn confused. They reading what they reading and getting something out of it. Ain't that crazy? Books in there saying the same thing to all of it, and everybody come out with a different opinion on it. All because they ain't got no borders. All right? We'll put them borders in place. Most High God already put them for us. All we got to do is establish them.
Yahshua therefore answered and said unto them, Murmur not among yourselves.
This is John chapter 6, verse 43?
Yeah.
Okay.
No man can come unto me except the Father which has sent me draw him.
He said, no man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
He said, as a result of that, I will raise that man up at the last day. Right?
It is written in the prophets.
He said, it is written in the prophets.
And they shall be all taught of God.
And they shall be all taught of Yah. Right? That's why we named the website Taught of Yah. Right? Because it's written in the prophets that they all shall be taught of Yah. Watch this.
Every man therefore that has heard and has learned of the Father comes.
If you have heard and you have learned of the Father, guess where you're going to end up?
Comes unto me.
I got that. You're going to commune with the Son. When you say me, who is talking?
Yahshua.
That's Yahushua talking. You have to learn and you have to obey. That's the only way to do it. When you hear it, hearing is one thing, right? The reason why he put learned on there, because that's something different. Right? James told, we ain't got to get it. James told us, though. He said, what did he say about hearing it?
Don't just be a hearer, but not a doer.
But if you only hear, what's going to happen?
Deceive yourself.
You become forgetful. You get to lying to yourself. If you only hear, you get to lying to yourself. What do you think is happening? I mean, no. Oh, people hear the word. They go into these churches, and the word is being said. The word is being sung. These songs, they ain't just based off of nothing. This word, you know what I'm saying? They base these songs off of word. The pastor will read from the Bible. People hearing the word. But that's all. So now you become a forgetful hearer. You deceive yourself. So now I can't tell you anything. I can line this whole book up right in front of you. But you've heard it all already. You already heard the word. And you lied to yourself about it. So when I tell you, guess what you see? That can't be right, because I've already lied to myself about that. What you saying can't be right. That don't make no sense. How you going to tell me that the law ain't required? You know what these people tell me, these Hebrews? These Hebrews will argue with me and they'll tell me that. They'll say, no, you have to keep the law to be saved. Right?
Should I use downstairs?
Okay.
Listen.
You have to keep the law to be saved. Okay, I get it. So everybody got to keep the whole law? I mean, now you're going to make mistakes here and there. But as long as you got the intent to keep it. So you don't have to keep the law to be saved. Just give me something flat. Where's all this wiggle? I've never seen wiggle room in the Bible. I've never seen a guy like, I mean, just try hard. When have you ever seen anything in the book that said just give it your best shot? You accomplish it or you don't. All this weird gray area stuff, the man told you, be hot or cold. Don't talk to me about no law. You're not even going to stand on that teaching. If you're going to do it, if you're going to stand on it, stand on it. You got to keep the law. You don't keep all of it, you going right to hell. Stand on it if that's going to be your teaching. Don't come to here like, well, you know now you're going to slip, you're going to fall sometime, but you know, the guy ain't worried about that. You a Christian. What's the difference? Under your standard and the Christian standard, y'all missing the mark and God is okay with it. Talk to me about that. How you gonna tell a Christian? You gonna turn around and tell somebody you have to keep the law, and you gonna sit there and admit it that you can't keep it. That's what all of them say. You talk to them and make them just so what happened? You don't keep the law. I mean, you really try your hardest though, and then you just, you know what I'm saying, you make a mistake here and there. How God feel about it? I mean, you know, God disappointed, but you know, as long as your heart is, you know what I'm saying, you put your heart in it, this, that, and other. Yeah, I bet. Get your Christian. So what's the difference? These Christians here, God, doesn't matter what you do. Don't matter what you do. So how is it a requirement if you can break it? Gotta be a hypocrite. I'm gonna tell a Gentile they can't get in because they don't keep the law, but I'm gonna let y'all not keep the law and get in. That's crazy. You ain't never seen no book. Book ain't never been no hypocrite. Book is clear. You gotta keep everything the Messiah. The man just told you, I will require it of you. You don't do what the man say. I'm gonna send somebody something. You don't do it, I'm gonna require that thing of you. That thing clear. Let you not do something the Messiah say. Go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. I'll show you. Let you not do something the Messiah say. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Give me verse 1. Book make that thing very clear for you. No wiggle room and forbidden.
Dare any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust and not before the saints?
Jump down verse 5.
I speak to your shame. It is so that there is not a wise man among you, no, not one that shall be able to judge between his brothers. But brother goes to law against brother. We left off at verse 2.
No. I don't want where we left off. I want the list of sin.
That's 5.
It's 5? I was just at 5.
No, 9.
Verse 9?
Yeah, 6, 9.
All right, so this is verse 9. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. What does the book say?
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
He said, don't you know that the unrighteous is not going to inherit the kingdom of God? In other words, don't you know if you're unrighteous, you're going right to darn hell? Let's hear it.
Be not deceived.
He said, don't be deceived. Don't let nobody play with you. Don't sit here and lie to yourself about it. Don't be deceived. Watch this.
Neither fornicators.
If you a fornicator, in other words, if you having sex and you not married, guess where you going? You definitely not making it into the kingdom. Let's hear what else.
Nor idolaters.
If you are idolater, I'm talking about crosses on your necks, praying darn hands, Jesus pieces, all that stuff. Guess what you are? An idolater. I'm talking about you got the Buddha hanging around your darn neck, sitting up on your desk at work, the little crystal rocks, all that stuff. Guess what you are? An idolater. I'm talking about your horoscope is always being read. Guess what you are? Witchcraft, an idolater. Right? Keep going.
Nor adulterers.
Nor adulterer. Guess what? You cheating on your wife, cheating on your husband. Guess where you going? Right to darn hell. Watch it.
Nor effeminate.
Nor effeminate. Guess what that is? Go ahead and read the next one.
Nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Homosexuals is what he's talking about. Right? You a homosexual, guess where you going? Right to darn hell. Right? Keep going. No wiggle room.
Nor thieves.
Are you a thief? You stealing? Or your butt going right to darn hell? Watch it. Keep going.
Nor covetous.
The covetousness, right? It where they start cutting it off. You hear people watching in? Here where they start cutting that thing off. Like, oh no, we ain't got time. That thing get tight, don't it? They ain't get darn tight. Don't get to cutting it off now. They ain't get real tight. Watch it.
Nor drunkards.
Drunkards, you get drunk. Wait, hold on. So, but, people got drunk in the Bible. I'm just trying. Let me just try. What if I just take one shot of Hennessy? It don't get me drunk. I'm trying to figure out why you taking one shot of Hennessy. Hennessy is a strong drink. It ain't like it got a smooth taste. You know what I'm talking about? See, you drinking it to get drunk. Now you just playing with the Most High God. But let's be honest with the people, right? You don't get drunk, this ain't got nothing to talk to you. Right? This ain't talking to you at all if you don't get drunk. But as soon as your butt do, accident or not, guess what? Your butt going right to darn hell. You smoking weed, same thing. You look at the word here, it ain't drunk like we think, it's intoxicated. You smoking weed, but weed ain't noise, you better cut that, stop that line. It's an intoxicant. That's why you can take the CBD or oil or whatever, and that thing don't do nothing to you. But as soon as that, what they call it, THC, as soon as that THC hit that butt, your butt, ooh, you can feel it, don't you? Yeah, your butt going right to darn hell. Watch it, keep going. Meth and cocaine and all the other stuff too.
Nor revilers, nor extortioners.
Reviler, that means you sitting there cussing and trying to hurt people with your darn words, right? Extortioner, that means you know what I'm saying, you holding stuff over darn people's head, trying to get something and take advantage of people, right? What else?
Shall inherit the kingdom of God.
None of these things shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High God. Watch what he say next.
And such were some of you, but you are washed.
And such were some of you. You understand? That's the important piece, because you know they're going to try to put us in the corner. Well, are you trying to say that if anybody commit any sin in their life, they can't be saved? Nah, and such was your butt. However, you was washed. If what?
And such were some of you, but you are washed, but you are sanctified, you are justified in the name of the Lord Yahushua and by the Spirit of our God. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient.
There we go. All things are lawful, but everything is not expedient. In other words, everything is not appropriate. All things are lawful to me. Everything is not appropriate. So if I do any of those things that's mentioned, guess where I'm going? Right to darn hell. If I can stay within those confines, I can do whatever I want. But still, all things are not appropriate for me. That's where we operate. You get people talk to you, I don't know what God wants for me in my life.
That's right.
Whatever you want. But guess what? Your butt gonna have to line up. You have to work within those confines. From there, you do whatever you want to do. If you can stay away from the things that we just talked about, then you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever your heart, whatever brings you joy. Do it. But if you sin, your butt going right to darn hell. That's book. Let's be clear about it. Let's understand where we are. If you're not there, then just be honest with yourself. I'm not there. And if I die today, I'm going right to darn hell. That'll help you. Believe it or not. Being honest with yourself like that will help you. At least it'll let you know, I know I'm not here, but I know exactly where I need to be if I want to be there. If you don't want to be there, fine. Just be honest with yourself the whole time. Don't deceive yourself. Don't trick yourself into thinking that you're going somewhere and your butt going to end up in hell. That don't make no darn sense. Not you got the information. Right? Now you got the darn information. That don't make no darn sense. All right. Let's see what we got. It's Hezekiah, 2 Kings chapter 30. 2 Kings chapter 30. Give me verse 1. Talk about Hezekiah a little bit before you get up out of here. It's 2 Kings chapter 30. Not 30, sorry. 2 Kings chapter 20. 2 Kings chapter 20, give me verse 1.
You won't read? 20 verse 1? Chapter 20 or 30?
20, my bad. It was 20. It's 2 Kings chapter 20, give me verse 1.
In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death. And the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, came to him and said...
The prophet who?
Unto Amoz.
No.
Oh, prophet Isaiah.
The prophet Isaiah, right? So we talked about that. We talked about Isaiah. Remember, Isaiah been living for a little bit. Because remember, he is around with Uzziah, he is around with Jotham and Ahaz. Now, Ahaz's son, Hezekiah, is here. Hezekiah got sick. He's sick unto what? What did it say right there? Read it again.
Unto death.
Right? Hezekiah is sick unto death. Then the prophet Isaiah came on to him. Same Isaiah, right? Same Isaiah that been telling us that Assyria was going to come and take out the nation of Israel, our northern tribe. And they took them out. That thing happened, didn't it? Right? Same Isaiah came, and he is like, look what he said. Go ahead and read it, teacher.
And said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live it. Then he turned his face to the wall and
You
prayed.
good. So he said, thus saith the Lord. Right? Isaiah popped up. He said, it was the Most High God had to say. He said, go ahead and set your house in order. Because what did he say? What did he say after that? You not going to live?
Not live.
He said, you will not live. You got to, man, y'all got to put this stuff in perspective, man. You can't let this thing just, you know what I mean? You got to put it in perspective. Hezekiah just got done, you know what I'm saying, putting together this big old feast.
Everything God said.
Something that we ain't seen happen in our land at all. And since like, so technically the way he did it since Solomon. But Josiah did some stuff, you know what I'm saying?
After.
Huh?
Josiah's after.
I mean, Joash is what I'm talking about. Joash did some stuff, and I think Jehoshaphat did something. You know what I'm saying? Jehoshaphat did a little something. But nothing like what Hezekiah did. Hezekiah took it all the way back to what Solomon, you know what I'm saying, to Solomon time. Yeah, people did a little celebration, you know what I'm saying, tried to get people gathered around God. But Hezekiah was like, I took it further than all them boys. Then a man gets sick. I'm God's man, though. So guess what I'm going to say? Oh, I hope I get over this. Whew, this is a bad sickness, but you know what? If God, you could just let me live. You know that's his prayer. Then Isaiah pop up to him and say, go ahead and put your house in order. You're not going to live. Just imagine how you feel. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how that thing hit you.
You know for a fact this man's a prophet. Everything he say come true.
He just got done prophesying our whole northern side of us was going to get taken out. And guess what happened? Them boys out of there. Man come to you. Go ahead and put everything in order. No, he ain't going to make them. You looking at him like, darn it. But watch what Hezekiah did.
Then he turned to his face to the wall and prayed unto the Lord, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord.
What beseech mean? Right? I beg. No, you all right. You can read how I said. Right? When he say beseech, he said, I'm begging. I'm pleading with you. I beseech thee. He's begging God. He turned. First thing, did he get into an argument with Isaiah? That don't make no sense. That wouldn't make sense. Okay, so, you know how they say don't shoot the messenger? He just the messenger. That don't make no sense. Oh, I need to talk to the man. So read that one more time, TJ. Watch it.
I beseech the...
No, back up for me.
Then he turned his face to the wall and...
Isaiah pop up. Isaiah say to him, listen, go ahead and set everything in order. You're not going to live. Right? No, you're not going to live. As soon as Hezekiah hear that, go right to the wall. Lord, I beseech thee. I ain't got nothing to say to you. You can stand there if you want to. I got something to do. I got to talk to the man. Let's hear about it. This is how a man of God works. Watch this.
I beseech thee, O Lord, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight.
These Christians have had your butt messed up thinking that you can't talk to God about what you did. They've been like, oh, don't you boast against God. Don't you know that's the only thing the Most High God tell you can boast? That you know him? That's the only thing that you can boast about. He don't want you to boast about nothing else. But when it comes to you knowing him, he said, boy, you boast. If you're going to boast about something, you better boast that you know me. Man said, listen, look, I've been walking perfect before you. I do exactly what you say do. Why are you going to do this to me? Let's hear about it. That's confidence before God.
And Hezekiah wept sore, and it came to pass As for Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Turn again and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, thus saith the Lord of God of David, thy father, I have heard of thy prayer. I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will hear thee on the third day. Thou shalt go up unto.
He said, thou shalt what?
Wait, did he say the third day?
He said, thou shalt what?
Thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord.
Uh-huh. So read that for me one more time.
I have heard thy prayer.
Most High God said, I've heard thy prayer. What happened? What happened? He said, I heard thy prayer.
I have heard thy prayer. I have seen thy tears.
He said, I've seen thy tears.
Behold, I will heal thee on the third day. Thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord.
He said, I will heal thee on which day? And then he said, thou shalt do what?
Go into the house of the Lord.
That book. I don't know what that sounds like. I can't tell you what that sounds like. Because, imagine like dying. You know what I mean? Like if you dead and you get healed, what would happen? You probably come back alive, right? Because I remember it was like this dude, he got killed. And then he got pushed into a tomb. And on the third day, he was healed. And then after that, he went to the house of the Lord. He went to the right hand of the Father. All right, let's hear about it.
And I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And Isaiah said, Take a lump of figs, and they took and laid it on the bowl, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, What shall be the sign that the Lord will heal me, and that I shall go up into the house of the Lord the third day? And Isaiah said, This sign shall thou have of the Lord, that the Lord will do the thing that he hath spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees?
Right, so he told him, Hezekiah like, all right, how do I know that this thing gonna play out the way you said it, and that I'm gonna go to the house of the Lord on the third day? Right? Isaiah gave him some figs. He was like, go ahead and take these figs. Right? Because you look at it, let's back up. You look at it, it's all a test. Right? It was all a test. Remember, the Most High God cannot tempt you with what? Evil. He can't test you with evil. But look, he didn't test him with evil. He didn't tell him, go do something evil. Right? Most High God never gonna do it. He gonna send somebody to do that dirty work. He ain't gonna do that himself. You know what I'm saying? He'll call the spirit and call the devil to go handle that for him. But he remember he was like, man, look at my servant Job. And then Satan went down, and Satan was like, curse God. Right? He had the woman come to him, why don't you just curse God? Right? Ain't that what his wife said? Why don't you just curse God? So that's what Satan was trying to orchestrate, to tempt him with evil. Most High God ain't gonna tempt you with evil. Guess what he gonna tempt you with? He just gonna put you in a tough spot. Most High God came up, now you gonna be dead. I know it. I'm sick. Now you ain't gonna live. Go ahead and set everything in order. But he responded right. A lot of us are too weak. We don't respond right to this stuff. Little hardship come, little something come, we just get to breaking and compromising. You know what I'm saying? Anything, we just get to cutting corner, cutting deals, doing all that stuff, and that's just a failed test for the Most High God. Most High God said, oh no, you're not ready. I can't do nothing with that. I can't put you on this higher level. You just running with the foot in it.
Right.
What are you gonna do with you up against? You up against the horses, right? Stuff ain't even got rough for you yet, and you can't handle it. Nah, you're not ready. You gotta sit there and cook a little bit more, right? Let's see. Keep going.
And Hezekiah answered, it is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees.
Right?
And
So he's looking at it. He told him, what's going to be the sign? Now I know, you know what I'm saying, how this thing going to play out. Right? Most High God said, all right, I'll tell you what. You take the sundial. Right? And the shadow that's on the sundial to tell you what time it is, it's going to go up 10 degrees. Right? So think of like, you know what I'm saying, like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to go in a moment. It's just going to move up 10 minutes. Right? So as a guy is like, that's a light thing for it to go at 10 minutes. I mean, I could just go to sleep, wake up, and be like, oh, 10 minutes passed. You know, I don't know what really happened. You know, I could have been in a trance or something, you know what I'm saying, and 10 minutes passed. He's like, you want to do something, make it go back 10 minutes. Right? Then I know you're doing something. You make that thing go back 10 minutes, then I know we on to something. Watch this. Hezekiah not playing. You got to understand when you talk to God, you got to talk to God with confidence. You got to know exactly where you are, honesty and confidence. Now, if you ain't, you're not going to have no confidence if you're a sinner. You ain't supposed to. Don't be a sinner trying to talk to the man with confidence. Now, know like God, know I've been doing right here. Still, get your line, but that almost like, you ain't listening to that stuff. Right? But when you actually been doing something right, you actually been living right. Not saying that you ain't never sinned in your life, but you know that there was a point, you turned away from it, and you kept walking. You look at these men, you know all these men sin, but he said, I got a perfect heart before you, because he know there was a point, and he turned away from it, and he kept walking. So now you can look at him and be like, man, what you talking about the Most High God? I mean, you know what I mean? Don't you know I got a perfect heart before you? Sitting there crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna do this to me? I've been doing everything you said. Most High God said, man, I see your tear. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I hear you. I see your tear. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I know you did it in the intimacy of your heart. Right? I see your tear. I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'll add 15 more years. You can live 15 more years. Gave them an account and everything. You can live 15 more of them things. Don't even worry about it. Isaiah said, okay, go ahead and eat these figs. Hezekiah started eating the figs. Okay, but I don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know for sure on the third day I'm supposed to go to the house of the Lord. Oh, man, check out that sundial. It'll make it go up 10 minutes. 10 minutes? That's a light thing to make it go up 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you make that, he haggling with God. Then you make that thing go back 10 minutes? Now we talking. Right? Watch this.
And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down the dial of Ahaz. At that time.
And who was Ahaz?
King before.
That was his daddy, right? That's Hezekiah's pop. Right? So that was his pop sundial. Right? Keep going. It's important to understand. We got to keep connecting the history. Otherwise, we start forgetting this stuff. Always got to keep connecting it, right? That's his daddy.
At that time,
Berodach.
Baladan, the son of Baladan, the king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. Mm-hmm. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them and showed them all the house of his precious things.
He showed them what?
All the house of his precious things.
Remember this moment. Right? Remember this moment. The whole time. Listen, most people think that Most High God is out here, trying to, I just love everybody. Nuh-uh. The whole time, Most High God is building this. As soon as you make a mistake, He's going to use it all against you. Right? Babylon. Ain't that what we just read? That was Babylon came up, gave him a gift. As in return of the gift, guess what he showed him? All the stuff. Watch this. Keep going. He showed him all the nice things. Watch this.
The silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment and all the house of his armor and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house nor all his dominion that Hezekiah showed them not.
So he showed Babylon everything he had, right? In the future, who's going to end up taking our people? Before they took our people, you know what they took?
What?
Before they took our people, you know what they took?
They took Syria.
No. Before they took our people, what did they take from our people?
Oh, the riches of the people.
Took all those nice things that he just showed. Right? This is years and years prior to that happening. Right? It's still quite a bit of history that needs to play out. But before, this is where it goes. You don't think they go back and they be like, oh man.
There's only 4 more kings left.
Huh?
There's only 4 more kings left.
Yeah, but that's time. It's time between those kings, right? So it's not like this is not Nebuchadnezzar who ended up taking our people. There's more than 4, ain't it?
Yeah, because you got Josiah, then you got his son, and then you got his son, and then the rest
Yeah,
of
you
them.
got Manasseh, then you got
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But you look at it, and these things like this is not Nebuchadnezzar who ended up taking our people, right? This is somebody totally different, right? So these things now then go and become a part of their kingdom. Like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? The Hebrews, man, they over there living nice, man. The Hebrews really, and it started off as an innocent thing. The Hebrews over there living real nice. They living nice, huh? You get following some hard times, or you start getting some army behind you. Nah, take this stuff, and that's how I work out. All the stuff he showed.
So nobody else stuff.
All right, and that ain't even really the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, Most High God gonna get your darn butt, cause it ain't even gotta be you. Hezekiah is God's man, and he showed the people his stuff. Ain't nobody take nothing from Hezekiah, right? Hezekiah had great grandsons who got robbed, right? So I can show some stuff, and 2, 3 of my sons down the line, they might mess up, and they still living in my house and got my son. Guess what? Most High God come get it because they messed up. But the Most High God he creates that way just in case, right? I already know y'all not gonna act up, so don't worry about it. I'll create the way to corrupt y'all right now, right? To punish y'all, I'm gonna punish the seed to punish y'all right now, and I'll do that thing 200 years later, 30 years later. Right? Who cares? Most High God got it. He put the whole plan together constantly. That's what's happening constantly in the book, constantly happening in our lives. We look at stuff, and you can even look back at your life, right? Look at it and be like, how did I get in the situation I'm in now? And then watch them pieces fall together. Them things ain't coincidence. Them things ain't coincidence. Most High God knew, right? You be doing something, you be thinking, you was like, man, I thought I was doing all right. And then you act up later, and then something that you did when you were doing all right, that's what come and bite you in the butt. Just look back over your life one night, just when you land in the bed, just kind of think through everything. Like, oh, if this wouldn't have happened, that wouldn't have happened. Most High God had that thing lined up already.
I do that thing like in my sleep.
I do it all the time. I be thinking about that thing like, man, that didn't play out like this, and this didn't play out like this. He had it lined up the whole time. Whole time. And meanwhile, man been good to it. You know what I'm talking about? Man been darn good. I think about it all the time. You think he brought us over here as slaves, and at the same time protected us, right? Punished us and protected us at the same time. He had these people write a whole book in English right before we got taught and made to learn these people hypocritical English language, right? Our whole book. Before that, guess what it was in? Latin. He knew we wasn't about to learn no darn funky Latin. That boy said, okay, you know what, let's go ahead and take it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put that thing in English real quick. These white folk about to teach them some English. You know what I'm saying? He might well make sure they can read it. He gave it to just give us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can take care of it from there. Most High God, he'll punish it and be good to us at the same time. You look over your life, that's exactly what you're going to see. You know what I'm saying? We got to be children of the Most High God. That's how it's going to play out. Any questions? All right, let's go ahead and pray out.